Hello everyone, welcome back to the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel. Third game of our 4-game run here for the Saturday of the State League comp. Latrobe taking on Kingborough Huon. Ron Riggs, Justin Bryant in commentary with you.
Just check. 10-4 rubber ducky. We've got a frame. Very good to be back.
Very good. Yes, no, we had a bit of a break and now we're back on, JB. So this should be a good game, this one. Kingborough coming off a very close win against the BTAS High Performance. And
Noah Strathman with the winner there.
And Latrobe looking to bounce back after going down
Almost 40. They went down
to
Glenorchy,
which was a tough game nonetheless. So Latrobe here looking to bounce back. Kingborough looking to maintain their form. A bit of a change in the starting lineup we can see, JB.
Yes, the most enigmatic member of the SBL, Ian Badanack, is on hand. Number 32, he's actually created quite a presence for the Kings here, particularly in the last 2 months. They are now bounding into top 3 contention as he wins the...
No, the ball...
We're going to have to go again, yeah.
If he take 2 here...
Yeah, as the question's being asked. But no, Ian's been quite a player here for the Kings as he gets the tip away again and hopefully has an impact here tonight.
Well, let's hope so. Game number 3 is he's in the play already,
Oh,
JB.
there he is.
It only takes 8 seconds for Ian Badanack to get his scoring account open.
My man, he's going to be an impact on both ends of the floor though, Ronnie. That's something that people are going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's a cagey veteran and no doubt he'll bring some good experience to this Kingborough lineup. Ben Woolley going for 3. Can't get that to go. Former member of the Northwest Funder squad.
Capable player in his own right.
He certainly is. Of course, him and Brady Armstrong will be the 2 main components here this afternoon. Pawson for 3. Can't continue that hot form he had this morning. And now Triffett coming down the floor here and goes into Spinks, and young Will Spinks gets the 2 to go.
A good finish there on the reverse. Both teams sort of feeding one another out. I think the Kings are probably a bit more evenly matched here than the scoreline suggested for Latrobe their last game. Glenorchy, one of the favourites to take out the State League competition, always a favourite in any competition they're in. So this is probably the first true test to show where both teams are at.
Spinks going for back-to-back baskets. Can't get the bounce there to drop that one in. Shepherd with the rebound as we come up the floor here.
He's hoping to rebound off what was a subpar effort. Hitting the floor a lot, wasn't able to hit his jump shots, but he'll want to change that as Eli Pawson continues his form.
Yes, Pawson with the mid-range J and knocks that one down, so early lead here, 4-2.
It'll be interesting to see what both teams run here. We know what the Kings are like, and again, it was awfully hard with Latrobe chasing their tail for a lot of that game against Glenorchy. There's Armstrong.
Can't get that to go. Collins with the rebound, and now Shepherd coming up the floor here.
Collins was telling me he wants to try and get on the scoreboard. Actually had his first win all season at senior level. Shepherd for 3, no good there. But poor old Isaac stuck with the Southern Wolves in our senior league. Got the transfer for State League here with the Kings, and his first senior win all season coming in that victory against the high performance team.
As Ben Woolley gets the 2 to go off glass. Well, there you go. First for everything in 2020.
And there are those points he wanted, and he gets them.
He gets the 2 off a nice runner.
Maybe if I mention I want him to drop 100, we've got a big game on our hands. I don't know. But again, Isaac Collins, another player who, much like a lot of these players, often get caught in subpar sides and can't truly show what they can do. Isaac, a former state player himself as far as development, so he knows how to play the game and he can be certainly effective on any lineup.
Absolutely. Pawson attacking the rim hard here. He has to kick that one out. Good pass in the stretch, but then Woolley, good quick hands there and knocks that one out of court. Very
good defence there from Woolley. They're going to have to be wary of Strathmer again. He can play that stretch 5 and hit the game winner. 2.4 to go against the high performance team, so a danger man for sure.
Absolutely. Had a cracker of a first game filming that one. I'm hoping this one will be near same. Shepherd. Strasma for 3. Just a bit flat and then, well, the
tip. With a tip.
Shepherd can get up. He's worked on his hops for the last couple of years.
Absolutely, and more senior than people think. Bain's got a lot of senior experience. He's a bigger body. Looks like he's built like a midfielder for footy, but certainly, again, those hops are deceptive. I don't like using that word, but you would not pick Bain as a leaper. That foul there on Pawson, but he can really impact the game on both ends of the floor. His rebounding is key. When his shooting's on, he's very good as well and is not afraid to go to the basket.
Absolutely. In his mid-20s now, Bain Shepherd, and coaches a couple of teams in the juniors for Kingborough Huon. and showing good leadership. And a former footy player with North Hobart in the TSL days.
Well, that explains the body build, that's for sure.
So Triffett inside to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to get through Bannack and Collins.
A lot of contact there.
Couldn't get that to go. Collins with the rebound as we come up the floor here. And we just ticked on about 3.5 minutes in this first quarter. Strasmer goes baseline. Oh, kicks it out to Pawson.
Can't leave him open.
And it was a good option as Pawson rattles that one home.
Around the world, and 3 points we get. The Kings with the home court advantage now leading 11-4.
Yes, that comes into... You would think home court advantage would come into play here. Triffett goes up, and, well, Woolley kind of threw the tip, champ. I know Ben Woolley's got some athleticism himself, so good work there.
Batters.
Down the upper end of the floor. Now, timeout, and player coach Sam Pulford has called a timeout here.
He has had enough.
And 11-6 is our scoreline, and we're just on, well, we've ticked on probably 4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes with 6:01 remaining.
Yeah, we'll call it 4 minutes. Referees are Woolcock, Westwood and... Peel, of course. That would be the great man who I believe is disagreeing with me on my Facebook page. Nonetheless, he goes okay. He's not a bad bloke. Yeah. But... I mean, a smart timeout taken here by Latrobe. Things now out to 6-13, so a 7-point ball game. But they're just they're struggling at the moment to get those stops, and I think that's the dynamic that the Kings offense brings with their ability to, okay, we're going to draw you right outside, but if you leave us open inside, we're going to make you pay for it as well. Meanwhile, for the Kings, they're focusing on Latrobe's on their two key players there, and that's really hurting them. Latrobe do have some effective shooting, though, so that's something they're going to have to be wary. If that pass and kick starts being effective, then they can certainly make more of a game of it than it already is. And, yeah, I think, too, the hard thing with Latrobe is the reliance they've got on Armstrong. He's their key player, has been for... he certainly was in the State League last year. He's certainly looking like that again this year, so he's going to want to take the step up, but he's also going to look for his teammates to help him out as well.
Absolutely. So, Woolley coming down the floor here. Now Spinks. Spinks looking for Triffett, and Triffett is open and get everything but go in. Bannack with the rebound.
He's running the point.
And gives it off to Strasbourg.
Well-weighted pass.
And, 360 spin and gets the two to go. Good grief, JB.
Yeah, good grief is right. He's running the point. Good tip there from Pawson. But you cannot have Ian Bannack running the point after a rebound, pulling a spin move. A slow spin cycle, mind you. It's like the microwave that's really sort of jarring about. That's a good finish. And again, there's that spark that he's able to provide. You would not look at Ian as someone who's able to do that, but he can close out inside. There's the close out on the perimeter. That's a nice shot, though.
Sam Pulford with the three.
Very good shot. And again, there's that driving kick that Latrobe, if they can start to really knock that down a bit, will make more of a game of it.
Yes, marching back to 6 here, 15-9, as we've just ticked on halfway in this first quarter. Pawson for the response. Yes.
Bang. Didn't even look like it touched the Calico on the way through. And again, that's the damage. He started to warm up a little bit in the second half of his first game against BTAS. He's looking on early in this one.
Spinks, now Woolley. Looking for Armstrong. Armstrong for a three of his own. Yes.
Too much space. We are back and forwards in the shooting department. Again, only a 6-point ball game early on, and hopefully this contest can continue at this pace.
Absolutely. Some good shooting. Nash looking to come in, along with Triffett and Parker. And the three goes.
As you can see, the light is shining in at the Sports Centre, but no mistake about it, it is raining indoors.
Absolutely.
Another three.
I was going to say, it is nearly a 3-point shootout here, or just about the way the shots are taken.
Ian Bannack running the point, and the Magic Johnson, number 32.
Collins going for a three of his own, and he's joined the party with a bank of his own.
Again, the ATM at Westside Circle is getting a workout. You went up there for lunch, Ronnie.
I did.
Hopefully you took your card with you, because there would have been no cash available in that bad boy.
Yes, FPOS only. Pulford, good drive, draws a foul, and he'll go to the line for two.
That's another thing that Latrobe will want to look. Even though that driving kick is sort of starting to work and starting to click, you've still got to work your way to the line, and that's going to work you back into the game. Pulford's smart enough to understand that, and he'll look to take advantage. That is Nyhouse and Nash heading in for Shepherd and Bannack.
Triffett coming in, it's Alex Triffett. So there's the Triffett brothers, Alex and Jack. Matthew Parker looking to come in. if Pulford makes the free throw.
And I think we're going to be joined once again. Now, we're going to have almost a halfway meet with the head of the referees today. Substitutions coming in.
Yep, so Matthew Parker coming in.
He had a big task, unfortunately, Matty Parker, in that last game. He had to deal with Nick Barker and Cal Barker. Things got pretty physical for him. So he's probably going to get a bit of a rest here, but that stretch 4 and 5 of Strathmore will make it contest.
Pawson missed everything on that shot. Woolley got the rebound, so off and running. He's got Triffett, Parker in support. Triffett just busted the pass there, and a good turnover. Well, it's a good turnover for the Kings, but not a good turnover for Latrobe.
The idea was certainly there that errant round the back pass was not there. I think that was easily established.
So 10 points is our margin, 24-14 here, 3 and a bit to go. As Strathmore gets through Woolley,
hit on the head,
the foul and goes to the line for 2.
Again, there's that inside-outside player, Noah Strathmore. Plenty of length, takes a nice big step and can certainly start his upward motion from just outside the box there. So, again, a risk-reward. Do you foul him and send him to the line, or do you let him go freely for 2 points? It's a bit of a conundrum at times, Ronnie.
It certainly is. And, well, Ben Woolley can only do what he could do and really try to block that one, but just got the head on the contact there. So Strathmore knocks down the first. Obviously, he'd be up and about after hitting that game winner earlier on this morning here.
Absolutely.
And knocks down the second. So we're out to a margin of 12 here, 26-14. So we come down the floor with Woolley. So Woolley looking for that on ball from Parker. Now
there
the roll,
it is.
And just couldn't bowl that one up.
Not much talk out there, Ronnie. I know we've got the headsets on and sort of everything's a little bit muffled outside of our own voices, but the communication we've noticed so far early, there's not necessarily much talking going on out there from either side, so maybe just a bit more verbal communication, let alone physical, as there's a miss there by Pawson. That'll certainly help things along.
So Triffett coming up the floor here. Goes good pass in the park, and then Nash, get that out of here, son. Good block.
And is his dad in the building to see it? Probably no. He never is, poor old Mark.
No, his uncle's here, though, along with his granddad. I can see a couple of the Nashes down below us, a few rows down here.
Poor old Caleb, he's had all of his big moments this year. That's a very awkward offhanded shot.
And then
Pawson nearly walked.
He did get up the floor to Collins. Now Collins thinks about it and goes for it. Doesn't go. Now Woolley bringing it down the floor here now. He'll try to get through. Well, I thought he was going to go through a bit of traffic. Ball gets kicked around. And that's Sheehan.
Oh, that's
puts
nice.
It up. Can't get that to go. And then ball last touch by Strathmore. So the Demons will get it back.
Did deserve points on that one. Good hesitation. Got the defender in the air. Just couldn't finish. And again, it's those little execution factors that do change the face of a game.
So Triffett to restart. Now Woolley's kind of free. Pawson was wanting something from referee Reuben Woolcock, but getting nothing.
And that to me is just poor play on the part of Elijah Pawson. He's a better player than that. Even though he may have felt he had a case, you cannot leave a shooter wide open from 15 feet. That is bread and butter every day of the week.
Absolutely. Triffett for 3 is short. And now Strathmore with the board.
Got away with things there, King. Could have been a 5-point swing.
And then nice pass, Nyhouse into Nash, and Nash with the layup.
He's starting to find his feet here, Nash, slowly working his way into the senior side this year, and progressively he is taking leaps and bounds.
He certainly is. I talked to him pre-game and said he only scored his first 2 points in that opening game in the opening seconds, and then couldn't get a shot up ever since, but it looks like he'll get a few more as Brady Armstrong gets to 2, and head coach Alex Cato has seen enough and he'll call timeout, and we're back to a 10-point ball game.
10-point ball game, 28-18. Is our spare microphone lying around? It is.
It's still plugged in.
It is plugged in. If you could turn it on.
We can turn it.
Our guest has returned. Again, if you can hold it up, Andrew Johnson. We're halfway through the day. Andrew, what have you felt about the competition on the floor, and how have you felt the referees have performed so far?
Hey, there's been some good games so far today, actually. In terms of the referees, I think, going back to the first game where we said that the guys were letting them play, the guys in front,
keep that microphone up, that's it.
Yeah, bring it up, yeah. There you go.
Particularly in the Keyway. That has actually followed through, all of the guys are doing a really good job in terms of refereeing that contact. We're senior basketball, we've had a week of junior basketball. We're now into seniors, and these guys who have refed all week have made a really quick transition into allowing these guys to play.
Very good. That's what we want to hear. The dynamic of 2s and 3s. You've, again, predominantly run the 3s with the men, the 2s with the women. Have you noticed much of a change in referees going from a 3 to a 2 and then 2 to a 3, or do you still feel that consistency is there no matter what sort of structure they're running with their fellow refs?
No, that consistency's still there, I think. They're doing a great job, particularly for the guys that have to go straight from one to the other without a break. It does take a couple of minutes to get your head around it, but no, the consistency's still there, which is great to see.
I suppose finally as well, you've got his Hartog throws up a prayer, but how do you feel the younger refs have performed? Some of them, this is their first big senior debut as far as, refereeing senior basketball. I mean, as we mentioned before, a lot of them, haven't had the chance to push for country cup or for junior state and junior national championships this year. How do you feel a lot of those guys have performed that would have naturally taken that step throughout the year?
Yeah, we've had some really good kids, particularly today, step up and do some bigger games that, for some of them, they don't usually do. We've got Geordie Peel on this game here who has, we ran him through 3PO mechanics this morning, and he has taken to it really well. We're really happy with how he's going, and that's what it is for referees. Same as players, they take their opportunities when given to them. The referees do the same thing.
Probably a good position for him to be in here too. Connor, one of the more senior referees around the state, and Ruben obviously at the NBL level. What sort of knowledge and experience are you wanting him to take out of working with two referees such as Connor and Ruben?
Oh, look, anything that he can really. It gives him, when you've got two other guys on the floor like that, it gives him the opportunity to sort of relax. Our senior referees will cover stuff when they need to, and that gives him the opportunity to see the contact in front of him and go, right, this is the standard that I need to be at.
Very good. Thank you for that, AJ. Again, a good assessment. And as we mentioned, Ronnie, it's always tough for a lot of people here. We've mentioned the players that are stepping up, but there's a lot of people all around the courts, as we've only had 1 point since we've come back from play. Yeah. But it's good to see that everyone across all areas of the game really stepping up and relishing their opportunities.
Absolutely. And I had to help out early in the week up in Launceston with the officiating as well too. So
apologies to everyone was on Ronnie's game. No, I'm joking. You're one of the better refs I've seen, man.
Oh dear. But yeah, everyone's doing their bit. So it is good to see that. I'm pleased that some of the youngsters are getting an opportunity, and it's a big step up, but I think it can only be a good thing, and they'll learn from this experience and take that forward with them. So 12.1 remaining here in this first quarter as Triffett comes down. A score here would be nice for Latrobe, and try to get this back to 7. Parker down low, has to kick it out. Spinks is open over Nash. That is short, and that will round us out. Here at quarter time, it is Kingborough at 28, Latrobe 19.
Quick break here, and we'll be back with the second quarter after this.
Second quarter just about to begin here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. Kingston with a 9-point lead, 28-19 is our scoreline. Latrobe have possession and will start us off.
This looks a bit like it when we cover Senior League, a bit of Kings Southern Wolsey with the dark blue, light blue, Ronnie.
Yes, it's always interesting to see the top designs, and of course Northwest with a nice kind of look, very similar look to the Nunawading Spectres in the NBL 1 competition, JB.
Yes, we've called them plenty enough. I just don't know who their Simon Conn is.
That's very true. As Traffic goes for everything and missed everything.
Out of bounds on the full. Should not have missed that bit of Anthony Hudson off the old Kanga kick.
Yes, my word. So Pawson to bring it down here for the Kings. As it's been a long day of competition and lots of action happening on the outer courts.
Defense.
Spinks. Now Sheehan. Sheehan goes himself. Good. And a late call here beyond Hartog.
Yeah, trying to let that one play through and take advantage. Had players coming down the floor, but that was just too much of a disruption.
Okay, substitutions, Shepherd and Balanek coming in.
Nash and Hartog heading out.
Yep, so it's a very quick substitution, only 33 seconds in, Jobe. So
yes, poor old Caleb, his dad walks in and he walks out. Had the effect at senior. That's Armstrong.
Can't get it to go. Nyhouse with the rebound, and now Shepherd with it as we come back up the floor here.
Very nice leap on that rebound there. Cleared it out nicely.
Shepherd trying to work his way through, and he got fouled by Spinks.
He's on the deck again.
And Shepherd enjoying the wooden craft here of the Kingborough Sports Centre.
Yes, I know we mentioned about players really getting on the floor, but literally getting on the floor is another thing.
That is true. So 15 left on the shot clock. Pawson pulls up from the elbow and will get a roll and gets that 2 to go.
Very good finish there. Pawson gets that shooter's roll, as they say, Ronnie.
Absolutely. So good shooter's touch. Parker. Now Sheehan. Sheehan decides to let one rip, and it was a good option. Jackson Sheehan from downtown.
That was a beautiful arcing shot. Not much rotation on that ball, but didn't look like missing.
So margin back to 8. Shepherd working his way through traffic, looking at his options, needs to do something. Good double team
Very
by
good double
Latrobe.
team.
And then Strasmer able to pick it up. Pawson here, shot clock at 6, but Pawson doesn't need the shot clock as he knocks down the 3.
That was a beautiful pass into the shooter's pocket there. Well weighted, straight into the lap of Pawson, who makes them pay once again.
So Armstrong putting it to the floor, pulls up. Nice move by Brady Armstrong.
Yeah, it's working nicely. That bigger frame gives him an advantage there on the pull-up jumper. If he takes a bit of contact, he creates that space a lot easier.
Pawson, good little hesitation and drew the foul, and we'll go to the line for 2. I think it's going to be on Sheehan.
Yep, that was good defence there on the shot block, though, on the follow-through. Can't stop competing on the shot, particularly with Pawson. Is he going to the line for 2? He is.
He is.
Or are we baselining?
No, using the motion.
I was going to say, he definitely looked like he was in motion.
Yeah, no, he definitely picked up the drill. So Elijah Pawson at the line for 2. And of course, as we mentioned in our earlier broadcast, JB, like I say, Pawson, Strasmer, just trying to think who else is in the Chargers squad. But mainly them two, though, you could see the results after the hard work of Michelle chopping as Pawson decides to go for it in short.
We had Callum Boucher in the high performance team, which is probably the other point we were making.
Yes.
But yes, you can see, I mean, that's the it's the little things that basketball people will notice. It's the first step, it's the lateral movement.
Yes.
Everyone sees the leaping ability, but it's
and a collide of bodies there, and the 3 goes for Brady Armstrong, but the attention is now down on the baseline as Shepherd and Badnack. You probably had a better look on that, Joe, but I was a little bit blindsided with the camera.
There was definitely definitely some serious contact there on the hardwood. Shepherd down again. He's always throwing his body around, but you could see he's just giving that a check. I think he might have hit the side of his ankle or his knee.
Doesn't feel good.
Bit of a head shake. I don't know whether that's a no, I'm fine, or no, I'm not okay. But another couple of key outs here as well from the senior level for the Kings. Michael Klapsis isn't playing in this squad. He was listed but is not currently playing. And Mason Brezenchek, who upon return only a few weeks into the senior league with a fractured ankle, so he hasn't returned to play either. So if Shepherd's out, there's a lot of senior experience taken out. The 7-point ball game here, that's something Latrobe would look to take advantage of.
Yeah, they've kind of gone on that quick little run here, and all of a sudden that's forced a time out here by the Kings. So as they go, it's a quick chat there from head coach Alex Cato. So not much to cover, probably just to rev his team up and try to keep the buffer here, which is at 7 at the moment.
And Shepherd's coming back onto the floor, though, so, I mean, he obviously hit hard. I mean, at the same time, Ronnie, you and I know that if a joint, such as the elbow or the ankle or the knee or your head, we did see, I think it was Charlie Kay in that women's game, really hit her head hard as well. It just makes quite a thud, and unfortunately for the boys here, it's hardwood on concrete at the Sports Centre, so that is the last thing that anyone wants.
Absolutely. They go down to the Queenstown Basketball Stadium 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
Strasmer gets the 2 to go.
I mean, in saying that, they also played NBL here on a concrete floor back in the day when they started this, Ronnie. So that should tell you how far both leagues have evolved since then.
My word. Triff with the ball. Now Sheehan.
He come off that screen nice, Sheehan. Deserved points.
Can't get that to go. It was long on the rebound. So Pawson coming up the floor here now for the Kings, and Pawson is weaving his way through traffic, goes exploring and gets the 2 off a nice layup. Yeah,
big help there from the inside, drawing the defence out, opening the lane up there. But just quickly there on that previous play, Sheen, that one's knocked out of bounds. But
hands.
The one thing you'll notice when Sheen come off that screen, a lot of players normally would just look to curl around close to the pass, but in curling out, drawing the defender and taking that drop step back, opened up his shot and just created more space. Just little fundamental things that players can pick up on.
So Armstrong putting some moves on against Strasmer. Now Badanek.
The big fella out on him.
Spinks
That's
for
a lot.
3.
Well,
and Will Spinks knocks down the triple. And, of course, I've coached...
no, it was signal to 2.
Oh, signal to 2.
Toe on the line.
Oh, there you go. I have coached against Will Spinks, and he's a very good young player. So he can knock down his shot. Same as Pawson, but can't get it to go. Oh, nice tip. Strassman to Strassmar, but
Big batters.
Young Geordie can't get it to go.
Back to batters again.
He kicks it out to Baranik. Can't get that to go either. Spinks pulls down the rebound, and Sheehan now Armstrong to just slowly bring this one down for us.
Just quickly, AJ, if you can pick that microphone up and turn it on, I should say, flick it up. Just quickly on that point there was one, the young Peel signals a 3, Westwood signals a 2, look like a toe on the line. Are you encouraging Jordan Peel as he makes the contact there? Are you encouraging him to follow the lead of Connor there, or are you still wanting him to be strong in conference if they need to?
I actually missed the shot, so I was just having fun. What we'd look for is the senior referee to be in their primary area and go and take control of that call. I would certainly expect that when they come together, they'll have a chat about that and go, okay,
This is what it was.
how do we sort that out?
Yeah.
So we move on and we get that consistency for the rest of the game.
Very good. Thanks for that, Andrew. Figured we'd take advantage there, Ronnie, of senior referee and a junior referee, and just what sort of dynamic comes into the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ spot on with what he's saying. It's the more senior official here that has to take the call on that one. And yes, I think a quick conference at the next stoppage or huddle will certainly sort that out as Woolley misses the 3, and then Shepherd
nearly steps on the line.
Oh no, we had a good look at that one, JB. And Bannock with
the point
ball.
guard.
he's doing it
Shepherd's
all.
looking very ginger, though, I must say.
Yeah.
He's not really taking off.
So Pulford, now Armstrong. Armstrong is clear and gets the layup.
A good finish there, took advantage of the turnover. But, yeah, just quickly on that, he's looking over at the bench. I would be surprised to see Bain take an extended rest here at some point.
Yes. 5.5 remaining. Margin back at 8. Young Geordie Strassman puts it to the floor. Nice runner. Can't get it to go. And then Triffett able to, well, no, Shepherd was able to get it and goes himself and gets a nice layup. Good work through traffic there, JB.
Yeah, the up and under with 2 hands. You don't see that very often. Spinks trying to get out, couldn't get it. But, again, that'll be the true test for Shepherd. How often can he get in the air and really
nice
force
fake
it?
by Triffett over Baranek, and then Strassman fouls him, and they'll help him up. And young... I think that's Jack Triffett. We'll go. Yes,
number 6.
Yes, we'll go to the line for one substitution now. Isaac Collins will come in for. Well, Geordie Strassman thinks he's coming on for a breather. We thought it was Shepherd.
I think he was just trying to hope that he'd get a bit of a vote of sympathy there, but the young Geordie thinks he's done his work. I mean, he has, but I don't know whether it's enough to tell the veteran, nah, mate, you stay out there. Got to make the veteran call there, I feel.
Yeah, true.
I think Ian Badnack got away with a lane violation there, by the way.
I think he did. I think he might have. Collins with the ball, margin at 8, 41-33 is our scoreline here.
Rails inside.
Baranek, nice move, but it travelled, shuffled his feet, and that was well picked up there by referee Ruben Woolcock.
Yeah, they're asking the question there, but no, easy call to make. Poor old Batters, he gets a little too excited sometimes.
Happy feet syndrome, JB.
Absolutely, he's running the point, he's getting everything going his way.
He's Trifford with the hesitation, now getting, well...
Shepherd wanted to foul then, I think he wants out of this one.
Spinks can't get it to go, and... Rebound by Collins now. Pawson coming up the floor. No substitutions coming to the bench at this point.
Get out of here.
Woolley with the rejection on Pawson. Great work by Ben Woolley. And now Armstrong to Triffett.
Needs a basket.
Can't get that one to go. And he's gone cold. Now Collins up the floor here to Pawson. Got Baranek. Baranek with the layup and gets it.
Yes, very good. Avoided the block there. I think he was a little worried. I don't know whether I was expecting Ian to dunk that or not in the form he's in, but no, good finish there. Dribble into Spinks, and Latrobe looking to reset, 10 points down.
Woolley and Spinks trying to set his screen.
What was going on there?
I have no idea.
That's a good roll, though.
To Spinks and gets the 2.
That's a nice finish. Got down the lane, and that's just a mental collapse there by the Kings. You can't allow what was a secondary type of screen set there to result in points.
Pawson open. Just long. Collins pulls that one in.
Gravity arguing with Isaac Collins on that one.
Yes. Now, Shepherd thought about it. Goes to Strassmer, then to Baranek, but Pulford there can read that one and gets it. Comes down the floor now, Sam Pulford. Was supposed to go to Armstrong or Trifford. I think Trifford was the intended receiver. Shepherd from downtown, can't get that to go, and we're just going through the motions here at the moment. And then Woolley able to blocked that one off.
Yeah, Paulford defending him well in the
And
post.
Woolley with a bit of a casual pass to Armstrong, and he puts that one up and draws the foul and will go to the line for 2.
Padding starting to come off that hoop there on the side of the backboard, Ronnie. So interesting to see, but very lackadaisical from both teams there on those couple of play phases. Certainly not a tidy standard of basketball by any stretch, but Latrobe just going to need to tighten the screws up here a bit. They are down by 8, but if they keep playing in this relaxed effort, they could see another blowout. Such was their game against Glenorchy.
Yes, absolutely. It could well happen, JB. I'm thinking that they're kind of still in an arm's length here. They keep around this 10-8 mark. They could make a late run, I reckon. So we'll just see how this game develops. Still plenty of basketball left in this ball game. 3 minutes and 8 to go as the clock finally gets moving. Strassman, now Pawson, now Berenik. Geez, he was open there in the lane. And now over Spinks. Can't get that to go. Triffett with the rebound as we come back down the floor here. Triffett, the season opening, puts the skates on, has to slow it down. Goes cross court to Pulford for 3. Just short. And Strassman, well, was able to save that one, give it to Collins.
Straight into the lap of Collins there.
And Collins then gets double teamed by Pulford and Woolley. Collins equal to the challenge. Can't get that to go. Baranek pulls down the rebound.
He's not happy.
And bangs bodies with Armstrong. That's an interesting matchup in itself. Now Strassman cross court to, Pawson, but Spence able to take it off. Shot clock.
This has been an interesting play phase.
It has been. I don't know if the shot clock internally reset there. But meanwhile, we'll move on.
Neither time making noise about it. Good strip.
Good hands by Triffett. And
1 second on the shot.
Caleb Nash looking to come in to the ball game.
Is this going to see Shepherd get it? No, the big fella. He's banging down low, but that's probably not bad because his frustration's starting to set in. Easing it off. There's 2 minutes to go. You've got a lead.
And, nice play by the Kings. Strassman can't finish it. Now, Triffett to Armstrong. Armstrong with Nash to beat. And Armstrong can't get it to go.
Oh, my.
That Moulton didn't want to drop the BG 4000.
Oh, my.
Triffett, this time, yes.
Out of everything that's happened in the last 3 minutes, we've got a basket and one that we didn't think would fall. But, Latrobe probably not happy with the greatest of their execution nonetheless. It's now only a 5-point ball game, and I think they're very fortunate at the moment, particularly with this man missing shots.
Yes. Now, Triffett.
Oh, good cross. Yep. Thought he nearly carried there, though.
So, Triffett just has to retreat, dribble out, does cross court to Woolley. Woolley thought about it and then goes to Spinks at the free throw. Just short.
Got to make them.
Strassman with the rebound and off and running. Has Pawson in support, but too many blue jerseys, so he has to retreat it out. Gives it to Nash. He nearly travelled.
He hesitated. We'll call it a hesitation.
Now, Shepherd slowing his one down. Walker and Geordie Strassman looking to check back into the ball game. Noah Strassman puts it to the floor and
he was
foul.
Hit. Yeah, he was fouled. They wanted that one called a little earlier, but I think that's just smart. You've got to let the play continue. Strassman is a capable player to finish that sort of shot, but that's a fair call there as Jordan Walker comes back in. He had a momentum shot at the end, ironically, of the second quarter of the first game. So I think that's what they want to do. They want to bring some energy heading into the second half and just try and put this one a little further out than it actually is.
So Noah Strassman at the line. Can't get that to go. A busy day. We have just having a quick look around here, JB. A small little gathering here.
Yes, the gathering to our left. Yes, to the right, not much.
Only two players there, I think, who are both Devonport players.
They are both Devonport players. They've been playing very hard. Does anyone know whether they won their game against against the Kings women?
Yes.
They won against the Kings women?
I did have. They were winning quite convincingly too, by the way.
Well, there we go. They're 1-1 and probably could have been 2-zip, but having talked to Coach Webb, Armstrong for 3, bang, makes that. Having talked to Coach Webb, a lot of their senior players haven't touched a basketball since March. So for them to only take a half of basketball to get into it and nearly take the game, they're in a strong position, Devonport.
Nice move by Shepherd.
Round the world twice.
Yep, goes in.
And this,
so marching back out to 5.
This one's still a hotly contested game. Latrobe are just going to want to tighten up a little bit here, but there's some sore and tired bodies you would feel.
Nice move by Woolley, tough, but then Parker with the tip, the veteran, Matty Parker gets it to go.
Yes, he had a lot on his plate in that last game in Biggs. He had Nick and Cow Barker and had to really try and protect the rim against some of those slashing Glenorchy guards. So look for him to just rest up a bit and wait for the second half.
Shepherd can't get it to go. Park with the board, and that will see us out for half-time. So the Latrobe have worked their way back into a handy kind of situation here. They trail by 3 at the half. It's Kingborough 46, Latrobe 43, and good first half. A little bit, at times, a little bit kind of going
erratic
going for emotions, but some good play by both teams throughout most of the quarters.
I think the fact that they've managed to keep it within 3 for Latrobe is a real positive for them, because to watch the game, it felt like the Kings were controlling it for the most part. So for them to only have a 3-point lead and still be putting pressure on, thank you to AJ again, but to feel, to still sense that there's a game on our hands, even with the momentum in the Kings side, is certainly a positive to take into this time out. You'd know yourself, Ronald, as a coach, you'll often have those games where you plug holes and you stick with it. It doesn't feel like it. And just looking up at that scoreboard and going, oh, well, look, we're not playing our greatest, but we're still down by 3. We're still in it. That in itself is a confidence booster for the Kings. Obviously, they've got to be wary at the moment. The concern that we're going to have, obviously, is the health of Bain Shepherd. We're not sure whether it's an ankle or a knee. There was certainly some cause for concern on his leg, so you'll see more minutes likely out of Nash and young Stratsma. Meanwhile, the inclusion of Ian Badanack has clearly changed the outlook of this side as well. We've seen him getting up the floor, establishing himself down low, making the pass, getting the rebounds, doing what a big should do, and that's causing some issues for Latrobe to guard as well. I just wonder what sort of adjustments that either team will be making here. A lot of it is just streaky and inconsistent. So, there's going to be times defensively where they need to be more locked on. There's going to be times where they've got to not be so careless with the pass. They've got to make the right pass. They've got to cut at the right time. They can't just be wanting to take jump shots all the time. They've got to really utilise that. And again, some of these younger kids in here, getting them in and actually taking control of this is probably what's going to be careful for them. I'm noticing Daniel Hardog for Kingborough has his hoodie on, so I wonder whether he'll be taking an extended break. Meanwhile, over in the Latrobe camp, they're still talking, still standing. They're, unfortunately for them, only coming off an hour's break, Ronnie, so they've had enough time to cool down and then to try and warm up again. So their bodies are probably under a bit more strain than one would assume. But nonetheless, they've also come off the back of, as we mentioned, playing one of the favourites of this tournament in Glenorchy. So for them to still be out here playing against a Kings team that really fired up there, we're up by nearly 20 points in their first game. A credit to them. If they're bringing the Kings down to their level, then that's fair enough as well. So, this should be a hot contest. I think this is a game that both teams need. Definitely a winnable one for Latrobe, but certainly a reality check for the Kings for them to get a scrappy game out of the way. Anything they need to iron out, this is the game to do it, while also still rotating, getting minutes through and getting their young guys some experience. Just quickly noticed that Andrew Johnson's gone down to talk with the referees, one of our more senior crews, along with young Peel there as well. And he's provided some great insight, as we mentioned. So to have Jordan on the game with Ruben and Connor has been great. And they've made some really strong calls as well. Overall, Ronnie, other than a bit of a scrappy game, things in this second half are looking a bit better than I think we could have assumed. At one point, it looked like it was going to blow out there for the Kings, and then Latrobe, with some lackadaisical play, still managing to stay in it. So I think the positives to take out of that, as I mentioned, for Latrobe, probably played one of their worst halves of basketball, and they're still in it. So they need to build on that and take it forward into the second half.
Absolutely, JB. And I think too, maybe Kingborough might have missed an opportunity where, if they possibly recognised that Latrobe were going for a bit of a flat patch, then the Kings really should have just upped the ante a little bit with their pressure, maybe get some extensive pressure up the floor, try to create some turnovers and get a few more points on the board. So in some ways you could nearly say, well, an opportunity could have been more missed, possibly.
Yes, very much so. And again, though, I think that comes down just to the consistency and the scrappy nature of this game. If we were looking for a lack of a better term, if we were looking for at BTAS high performance versus, say, Glenorchy, that's a game where you would be expecting that execution and those shots to fall. But again, you've got to just, unfortunately, as we mentioned, you've got to play the game in front of you. This is the hand they've been dealt. But noticeably, their boys are out there, the ones that particularly in their own mind have probably felt they've been a little inconsistent. They're out there working on their shots, so hopefully that translates through. I'm just seeing Bain Shepherd have some conversations there.
That's his dad he's talking to there, Andrew Shepherd,
who's walking away with a wry smile. So as much as the young fellas don't want to give him a break, I don't think his dad wants to either. He's on the bench. But
no, he's helping out. Good old Andrew. Good on him. And of course, he's done a bit of work for the Chargers in previous years as well too. So, yes, one of our former volunteers at the Chargers. Just switching our Chargers hat on there for about 2 seconds, JB.
Again, as we do.
As we always do. Third quarter underway here from the Kingborough Sports Centre, and it's the Kings controlling it to the right of your screen. As Pawson works his way inside, and then he gets double teamed, but then puts up the turnaround J and gets it to drop.
And there's just that extra elevation that Elijah's been able to develop. Good contest there by Shepherd. And even though he's already got a hop, that's a really good contest there. Most people would have thought he was going in for a rebound. Took on a 4-on-1, managed to fade away on that one.
So Walker thought about it, and then goes Collins. Shepherd at the free throw, works his way inside. Tough up and under, can't get the move to go.
Hit the deck again.
Triffett now working his way through aggressively over Walker. Now Armstrong puts it to the drive, gets room thanks to Parker, can't get that to go. Now Pawson has got a few up the floor. He's got Shepherd. Walker in support on the back door. Triffett able to read that one and knock that one out of court.
So we're still at a 5-point ball game. Just under a minute played here in the third quarter. Our third of 4 games here for the opening round of State League. We hope whenever you get to see these games you're enjoying it and making the most of it. And Shepherd hits the jumper, so that'll be good for his confidence here in the third.
It will be. So he'll battle through that pain in his leg. So Woolley, now Armstrong, the on ball. Now gives it off to Parker. Parker over Collins.
Couple of big steps.
Nice work there by Matty Parker.
He's wincing a bit there, Matty Parker, so I just wonder whether he's got some sort of complaint injury-wise there. But, again, took those steps, used his length, and, again, used his experience, rolled off the body under the defensive stretch there and got the 2 points.
Pawson for 3. In and out.
Now, Elijah had a very quiet second half against the high-performance team, and it did nearly cost the Kings. Now, Stratsma hitting the game winner there, so it'll be interesting to see whether Elijah can lift his way through what is potentially a slump out of the halftime break.
So, Parker and Walker hits the floor. We've got bodies flying everywhere.
You could feel that from up here. That was a loud crunch, but again, that is Shepherd has really got a limp up there, struggling to get up the floor. That's his ankle. He's not happy.
Yeah. I think hopefully Nash is coming in for him shortly. Strassma open for the quarter 3.
Not Nyhouse, Strassma.
It was young Geordie
What am I
Strassma.
doing?
So Armstrong and Triffett. And Triffett gets that one to go. We're back to 3.
At this point, I think if Shepherd really wants to get out of the game, I think he's going to have to lie down or sit down and wait for the referee's whistle because let's just hope here that young Stratsma feels that the senior member of the squad deserves a rest. Pawson, good
nice
drive.
Look. Tough make as well too. And marching back out to 5. So they're kind of just training baskets here at the moment, both teams, as Armstrong now Pulford.
It's one of the cleaner stretches of play that we've had in this game.
Triffett getting a bit of pressure now. Pulford open. The player coach knocks down the 3. And that is a confidence booster for Sam Pulford.
Stop, pop, lock and drop. Beautiful shot there. And we're back to a 2-point ball game, Ronnie.
Yes, 52-50. And this is good.
Hasn't been this close since the opening tip.
No. So Pawson, loose handle. Parker went down. I could hear the moan from here. He wanted that one badly. Shepherd from Huonville is long. And then Geordie Strassma with the O board. Shepherd's going for seconds over Armstrong. Can't get that to go. Won't get the call there. Now, Armstrong up the floor here, putting some moves on. Goes through Walker. Tough make. And it rattles home for Brady Armstrong. He'll go to the line for 1. And the foul's on Jordan Walker.
That's called there. They've given Peel the option to call it. It was and 1. Clean as a whistle.
Now, substitution.
And he's still not hitting the...
Geordie Strassma and Geordie Walker coming off. Caleb Nash. Noah Strassma coming on. And looks like Bane Shepherd will just have to keep playing through some pain.
Yep, he's played footy. He'd understand what that's like. But, I mean, the attrition that you get on a basketball floor, jumping and backwards and forwards, not necessarily the same physical as you would taking a tackle in the footy. Hopefully, he hasn't done too much damage there. But... this game's starting to hot up, Ronnie, so that injury might play a factor down the stretch.
It could well be. We're tied at 52 at the moment, and Collins lost the handle on that one. Won the foul. Referees didn't see it that way. Triffett up the floor. Armstrong thought about it. Gives it to Triffett. And nice fake
deserved a basket
by Jack Triffitt. Can't get that to go. Collins with the rebound as we come down the floor again. So we've seen some nice moves today, but not the best of finishes. Now Nash nearly lost the handle, but able to regain it over Parker. Can't get it to go. Woolley with the rebound as we come back down the floor.
He wanted that left hand there. Nash couldn't get inside, but still slowly plugging away, trying to get it done.
So Pulford
That's
goes for three
dirty.
again. That looks good. It is good for Sam Pulford. And Alex Cato has seen enough. He calls timeout. Latrobe take the lead by 3, 55-52.
If he's going to take a seat like that, stop the clock. Yes, we have. We're nearly halfway through the third here. Things ticking along nicely. But if Pulford wants to take a shot like that from our lap next time, he can pay for admission, stealing a seat like that. A massive shot. And that's the finish he needs. He's very happy with his own work, but that's lifting the rest of the team. They've got this lead now, and as we mentioned, it's the consistency of the Kings to come out from the halftime break. It's what's really hurt them early on. It's what's hurt them during their senior season. So this is a well-judged timeout. We really haven't seen that much scoring in the way of blowing a lead out, but it's enough to understand that the momentum has now swung. We need to stem the tide. We need to get back and focus on ourselves and stop worrying about what they're potentially going to do.
Yes, so Latrobe there. So Coach Sam Pulford, only a youngster. He's come through the ranks with Latrobe and a Northwest boy. Most of the boys reside in Latrobe or near the outskirts of it. And yeah, he's very happy at the moment. You can just see his body language there. And being a player coach is a tough gig for him because at the same time, JB, you got to play, but then also at the same time, you got to try to coach this team as well too. So he's in a tough predicament, but he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, it's a really fine line to balance, and I mean, managing minutes is also another thing too. You might be on the floor and feeling good, but you've got to realise when to come off and then make that adjustment as a bench coach as well as a playing coach.
So Collins, now Pawson, puts it to the floor. So Nash thought about it, goes back to Shepherd. Shepherd for three, just long. And
that outside shot seems to abandon him. Hasn't for Pawson, though.
No, Pawson able to get that one thanks to a little tip from Ben Woolley, and Pawson took that one, and we're back to a 55 ball game. So Pulford, now Woolley goes himself.
That was long. A little too deep. A bit of sum 41 about it.
Not a bad look. Ben Woolley is a good shooter. And again, he, as he's told me in.
He's told you he's a good shooter, has he?
Well, no. He told me pre-game that he hasn't touched the ball for a little while. So, again, as you rightfully say, JB, unless you've been playing under 22s or below, Elijah Pawson knocks down a triple. Or if you've been playing seniors here, you haven't touched the ball in a while. So, again,
game fitness is much different to practice fitness.
Absolutely.
You can run around and shoot and dribble all you want in practice, but if you can't get up and down the floor, you're of little to no use.
Well, now, Triffitt nearly got away with a hook there. He
that
put
was
the
very
arm out.
unique.
And Armstrong can't get the roll, and then, well, ball went out of play.
Nutmegged himself.
Now Collins able to save that. Strasmer and Pulford, and then Strasmer able to recover. Got Nash in support and uses it, and it was a good option.
Nash is going to claim that as an alley-oop. But he's managed to score 2 points with his dad in the building, so that's a positive as well.
Yes, Mum and Dad in the building now, so Mark and Christy in attendance.
Notice Christy playing, I believe, some social ball, or was it reserves earlier in the last couple of weeks? I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure she's pulled the sneakers on herself, Christy, in the last couple of weeks.
Armstrong goes baseline. Gets
a lot of
bump,
deserves it.
And it counts.
Yeah, deserves
that. And we'll go
that.
to the line for one, so foul will be assessed on, I think that's on Strasmer. And yes, Brady Armstrong will go to the line for two. Sam Pulford coming off, Jackson Sheen coming back in.
One thing here to notice too from the games that we've seen Ruben, the referee so far, is the allowing the player to continue and either earn the foul if they do miss it, or giving them the opportunity to get the line. He's giving the offensive player to the chance to play through contact and giving them the benefit of the doubt that they are a quality enough player. So it's allowed a lot of different dynamics, as we mentioned while talking with AJ, but I think that's a positive to see that there's a trust in the referees that the players at this level are capable of finishing on contact.
So Woolley, now Sheehan. Sheehan looking for Spinks inside, but it has to go back to Woolley. Pawson nearly got that one out of Woolley's hands. Woolley went solo, and it was a nice move by Ben Woolley.
Ben Woolley, Jamal Murray, I don't know, but a good switcher hand layup there, and they're now in the lead, 60-59.
They are. So Latrobe just working their way nicely into this ball game, and as I said early in the first half, they're only an arm length away. If they just keep chipping away at this, they'll be fine. Now, Spinks, Woolley in here with a clear push-off, and Shepherd able to knock that one out. Now, Baranek coming in.
Oh, my man.
Your man, JB, as you described.
Ian Magic Johnson Baranek starts at centre, plays forward and guard.
He's playing every position at the moment.
Absolutely, and doing it with a unique flair.
Armstrong.
Get out of
rejected
here.
by Baranek.
He says. That's my man.
And then Trifford able to recover.
That's good handles there by Trifford on a very quick double team.
And then cross-court, Wooley's open.
Needs to knock it.
And knocks it down. Ben Woolley with a 3, and the margin is out to 4, 63-59.
And again, this is the momentum that they needed. As you mentioned, Ronnie, they were well within touch, and this game has gone up another level since half-time. I mean, for lack of a better term, there's the contact, deserves the and one and gets it, but this is the level that we're expecting at State League. That first game, they're really feeling one another out. Latrobe coming off a one-game spell. You could argue the Kings were probably spelled for too long, so they've almost gone cold from having warmed up. It's taken them a half to get into it, but this has been a tremendous 7.5 minutes of this third quarter.
Said it has been a very good quarter so far. Strasma at the line for 1 and gets the 3-point play. We're back to a 1-point ball game.
Look for this to be backwards and forwards most of the way. It's good to see, as we mentioned, this being a competitive game in of itself, and I'm certainly looking forward to the last quarter.
It certainly sets us up for a classic if we're not careful. Woolley now Armstrong, pump fake, and then the 3 was flat.
Little too flat.
And Pawson saves it, and then Strasma able to get it. Now Strasma down the floor, got Trifford to beat, and then loses the handle. And Latrobe to get it back. Substitution. Dan Hardog coming into the game. You were right, JB. He's had that extended rest and now coming in.
Yes,
finally for Bain Shepherd.
Hey!
There we go.
We'll give Bain a bit of an applause. He's been working hard. I don't think Bain thought he was ever going to see the bench again. It's been so long since he used his drink bottle. Things have frozen over, but no, well-deserved rest, but that also tells me he's going to be pivotal in that last quarter. And not as pivotal as my man.
Badneck with a good defensive play, but able to cover Woolley tough up and under.
He took contact.
Yep,
I don't know who helped more, though.
And Ben Woolley might have come off second best, just limped there a little bit.
Oh, no, look, from Nash to
nice
Badneck.
Work. And the Kings are just putting on a nice little display at the moment, and now quickly up the floor. Spinks here. And the quick return too.
The contact there before on that drive was a forearm clean into Ian Badanack, and while he does look slight of frame,
Pawson can't get it to go. Now, Armstrong off and running. We're going to have to get comments in quick. And beautiful play as Spinks gets it off. Great pass by Brady Armstrong.
A lot of back and forward action that we've seen so far, Ronnie, has been scrappy, but that has been fluent. There's been no-look passes. There's been strong finishes. This is what State League's all about.
This game is starting to go up a notch. Pawson from downtown. Came Badanack, and then the foul on Armstrong.
Get that into you, he says. Down there.
Armstrong wants a sub.
He's had enough. He wants a quick minute.
He does. I think he's a little bit fired up. I'm not sure. But
and he's a competitor and always has been, Armstrong. He was very much a competitor in the State League last year, and didn't mind telling people what his opinions were, whether they were his teammates, the opposition, or those wearing the stripe and the whistle. But a competitor always, you'll get 100% out of him every time.
And Pawson with the up and under.
Contact's been called.
Foul. Now, this is going to be on Woolley. So head contact is the reason. So Woolley stating his case to referee Jordan Peel, who's on his State League debut this weekend.
And as we mentioned, only learnt three-man operation. Three-person operation, 3 PO. I'll be technical here.
Yeah, thank you.
Only learnt 3 PO today, so I mean you can imagine the pressure that's on him as well in the State League debut. Bailed out past there.
So Woolley for 3. It's good. Ben Woolley with a 3. And maybe that foul might just spark his confidence. A little bit of frustration. You want to try to take that frustration out on court with your shooting.
This is one of the most underrated matchups I think we were expecting this weekend, Ronnie. After seeing both games early, you would have thought Latrobe wasn't going to be as competitive.
Strasbourg with the response.
We are backwards and forwards here. Again, looking to be a stellar last quarter, edge of your seat sort of stuff. But again, this is what the State League's all about. Two teams going at it.
Nice pass from Woolley into Spinks, and Spinks gets it off glass.
Nash unlucky on the rotation there. Jumped really high with the two-handed effort on the block. Just didn't come across.
Last play here, term number 3. Pawson looks like he'll go, kicks it out. Hardog open at the corner.
That looks good.
And rattled out, did everything but go in. Woolley with the Hail Mary. And that will see us the 3-quarter time. That sets us up for a classic last quarter.
Out.
Latrobe lead it by 3, 72, Kingborough 69.
We'll head for a quick break ourselves, and we'll be back with the last quarter. Action-packed game right here. Kings versus the Demons.
Final quarter action just about to get underway here, and we are off and running here in this last quarter. So,
he wanted. There he is. He's in it again. That's how you start.
Batanek, oh, good save.
The lights are on in the fourth quarter, and Batanek is at his best. That's what we want. He forced the turnover there.
He did. Good.
I love the guy.
Good work.
Someone get him an AOS.
And is that an offensive foul? It's an offensive foul.
Connor Westwood was very loaded on that one. I don't know whether he wanted to throw the double fist to the hips, but he get out of here.
Yeah, no.
This is a good start by both sides.
It is. Good intensity first up. We were in the first 22 seconds of play, JB.
Yeah, both teams showing clear intent. This is going to be a final quarter for the tournament, I can feel, Ronnie.
I feel like...
Off the ring.
I feel like it's a very important game for both teams. They need a win. Well, Latrobe need a win to open their winning account. Kingborough want to continue on their winning form as the shot misses everything from Strathmore. Nash gives it off to Strathmore and then over the top and makes that shot go. So Noah Strathmore, we know, can make some of those tough makes.
Well, nothing but net on 2 occasions. It went through one, it brushed through the other. So even call either way, but yeah, again, the Kings wanting to open this 2-0 and give themselves a bit of a bonus. They're going to be undermanned tomorrow. Meanwhile, as you said, Latrobe wanting to get the win, and my man wants to take off down the floor.
He's got the ball carrying duties, gives it off to Pawson. Pawson pulls up, nearly got hit.
Nash with a save.
With a good O board, and now inside to Batanek. One-on-one with Parker. That's not a bad matchup. And Batanek drew the foul.
Parker knew it. He put the hand up.
Yep, and Parker easily will claim that one. And we'll go to Ian Batanek will go to the line for 2.
Unbelievable. He is tearing things up. He just creates a different spark and a different feel about this team, Ronnie. It's like there's a lot of style and a lot of substance, but there's a lot of grit about it. And there's that shot, that unique 60s style, where they used to they follow through, but it's quick. Get out of the way. So
it was a very quick release.
Man's got an arm sleeve. He's rocking Magic Johnson's bloody number.
Yep, and can't get the free throws to go, unfortunately.
Shoots him like Shaq. He's got everything you want in a player.
He brings some good heart and desperation to the team, that is for sure. Now, Woolley with the ball carrying duties here for Latrobe. Now gives it off to Spinks. In-term Triffett, a lot of high action. Triffett for 3 is good as Alex Triffett knocks down the 3.
That ball went so low, the canteen was still looking down on it as it was at mid-flight. That's a 4-point game to Latrobe, though, and the Kings certainly don't want to chase
nice play, but Batanek couldn't get that to go, JB. Good pass from Pawson. Woolley up the floor to Sheehan. Now Triffett with the fake. A few hesitations. Now Woolley is open and in and out, and Hartog with the rebound. Pawson to Nash.
Now that is off the light blue.
And Nash couldn't reel that one in, and Latrobe get it back.
Yeah. Big thing here for the Kings is that the Kings are not a team that unless momentum's on their side, they cannot play from behind. They are very confident as far as their play at times. So they're going to need to get some baskets and stops here and make this one a contest. If Latrobe look like they're getting on the run, the Kings could drop their heads.
So Bane Shepherd back in. Hardock with a quick 2 and a bit minutes there. He's coming off for a breather.
The young Bucks are really paying the price for wanting those extra minutes, and poor old Bane's the one that has to be punished for it.
Ben Woolley with the right intention pass to Parker, but that got chipped off. Shepherd goes up.
Good finish.
And he salutes the fans as well too. There's a little bit of a fist pump there from him, and marching back to 2.
Yes, he's got that dirty mustache flowing. The facial hair available here.
There's been a few of them today, JB, as Parker reels that one back in. And now up the floor, and Triffett saves that one. Now Triffitt's got options, goes to Spinks. Spinks gets fouled, and it will count for Will Spinks. And the foul is called on Ian Batanek. And referee Wilma Woolcock will have to come in and just settle that one down there. So the question being thrown, and there'll be an answer. Substitution being made. Brady Armstrong, Jack Triffett coming in. Parker and Sheehan are going to have a rest.
Yes, this will be a very interesting interesting final few minutes. This one to go out to 5 points. And Aidan Badnack asking the question again, an emotional style player. If he gets that question answered, though, he's quite happy. And nonetheless satisfied, I do believe, with the explanation.
Spinks missed the free throw. Pawson down the other end. Goes himself. Nice move by Elijah Pawson.
Slashing inside. That's what you want.
Now, Woolley with a similar option here goes to Armstrong for the 2.
Bang!
That is a long 2 by Brady Armstrong.
That's what we wanted. That one's out to 5 now, and that's sort of been the consistent margin of this game, Ronnie, since the midway part of the second quarter.
So, Strasmar gets a bump, kicks it out. Pawson for another triple.
Bang!
Yes.
We have putting Elijah Pawson open in the corner for a 3-point shot is a death taxes operation. It's almost certain. Yep, checked on the hip there. Armstrong just trying to continue through, but that one was just a little too obvious. He was nearly shoved into the first row down there for the King supporters.
Yes. So, margin back to 2, 80-78. We've got 6:14 remaining in this fourth quarter. Substitution being made. Isaac Collins coming in, and Caleb Nash will have a Bariba.
The Kings have really rotated their young guys through well here. Their senior men not necessarily getting the rest they wanted. Oh, Ian
Woolley
closes that up, and that's fouled and one.
Yeah, Bayonet kind of came into him.
Yep.
And Woolley, good finish inside.
He's had a look up into the crowd to ask the question there. I don't think he was too favourable in the decision. But, nonetheless, you can't really argue that one. When you step across the line and swing your arms, the referee has all but one choice.
Yep, that's right. So, pretty clear-cut call, JB.
Absolutely.
And Ben Woolley will try to go get the one. Can't.
Foul shots in your fourth quarter are key. I'm not saying they're proving anything now. And, that's Armstrong with the push to begin with.
Yep, so the first bit of contact before the second bit of contact.
And I think that's fair of Armstrong to establish himself there, but it's good to see Badnack not being overly aggressive and saying, hey, look, I'm going to be here too.
Yeah, well, a bit of gamesmanship happening between both players, which is always interesting to see. Strasmer down low with Woolley, works his way in. Tough move, has to kick it out. Shepherd puts it to the floor.
I want another fist pump.
Step back, and not there. Bayonet with the rebound.
My man dribbles straight into trouble.
And a foul on Spinks, and the Kings will get that one on the baseline. As, yes, the reach-in foul occurred. So ball on the side. 5:50 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Plenty of Kings personalities about the building, men's and women's at the moment, Ronnie.
Pawson from the elbow. Short. They will go to Latrobe as Bannick pushes that one out.
Substitutions, and that is
timeout.
Timeout there taken by Latrobe. They're just going to want to set themselves up here over the next few minutes. You can sense they're going to want to get a couple of solid offensive looks, and at the same time, I think they're starting to realise what's working for them defensively, and if they can continue to force those contested mid-range shots out of the Kings, they'll hold themselves in good stead. 5:43, 81-78, and as I said, Ronnie, off air, we had one of the, one would argue, one of the worst aesthetic looking games in the first half, and the third quarter was one of the better quarters of basketball we've seen across the entire day. So they've really set themselves up. They've got the rust out, and it's going to be a war of attrition in this last 5:43. As we mentioned, the Kings looking to go 2-0. Latrobe wanting to establish themselves in the winners column. Latrobe really probably looking to, if they can get a game out of this weekend, that'd be good. I think the Kings are probably overperforming by a standard they certainly set themselves. Again, they can be on and off, hot and cold and a bit streaky. But, I mean, if they can come out of this weekend 3-0, that really rattles what many would have thought were the top position, particularly with a team like Burnie, who have somewhat come in undermanned. So, you know, they're going to be wanting to annoy those top teams to really put them in a position for round 2 in a few weeks' time.
Absolutely. Round 2 in Devonport. We'll be getting coverage up there as well too.
Armstrong into a triple
nice
team.
To Woolley.
Good finish.
Great work by Ben Woolley as he gets it to go. And marching back out the 5.
That's good eyes there by Armstrong. He drew the triple team, understood he had to have a teammate open, hit him up, got the layup.
And a turnover there by Bananek as Triffett comes up the floor. Now Armstrong and Spinks, and nearly showtime here. And the rebound by Shepherd. Shepherd needs numbers in support, has to slow it down and get the troops to come
through. Thought he was nearly going to take it himself then.
Yep, and Pawson, nice drive, off glass.
Oh, magnificent stuff. Back to 3 points.
So this one setting us up for a really exciting finish. As we
very high scoring too.
Trefford for 3, just flat. Yes, this has been one of the more high-scoring affairs. We could get in. Well, I reckon we'll get into the 90s here, JB.
Oh, with these, I think at this point too, both teams are probably looking and saying, if we can crack that 100, we're probably going to win this game. And
Pawson, well, we was going to say Pawson's got some ideas on that. Collins draws the foul on Spinks.
Yes, building Rome in a day with a jumper like that, I think Elijah can only laugh. He's trying to nominate himself for the world's dirtiest moustache at the same time as well. While we've seen some rippers, we've seen some god-awful ordinary efforts as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not talking basketball.
No, that's right. So Isaac Collins to the line for 2, knocks down the first.
As we mentioned, poor old Isaac has not won a senior game until he played for the Kings in that opening game there, but another quality player, a guy who just every time he steps on the floor he gives it his best and doesn't try and play outside of himself either as the ball stays with hang on, we're going to have a
conference between referee Connor Westwood and Jordan Peel, and just trying to hear you in on it. Are they sticking with the call? They're going to stick with the call?
Sticking with the call, but Collins is one of those players that he does what the coach asks of him. He's a quality player. He knows what he can do, but he understands that playing his role within the team to win is far more important than his own individual desire, so to speak.
Now, ball is going to Latrobe. So, Woolley to kick us off here or pass it off.
Either way, he's the one that inbounds. It's got to start the play somewhere.
That's right. So, Triffitt coming up the floor here now. 4.5 remaining in this last quarter. As we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre here in Kingston.
Good look there by Armstrong. He's drawing a lot of attention from the defence.
He certainly is. So Armstrong
keeps
step
it.
Back 2.
Nasty.
He looks good.
Nasty. I thought he was going to lose the handle and slip there, but maintained that pivot, knocked down a lovely looking jump shot.
And leading back out to 5 here. So Kings will want to have a score in this possession. Collins inside of Strasmer.
That's a well-weighted pass.
It was. And then, well, Will Spinks was trying to get a case here, and he may win this case, depending. And, yep, he has. So referee Wilton Woolcock with the overrule.
And as we mentioned there, that's the ability of having a senior crew, someone that can help you step in there. Ruben had the better angle, took the call.
Yep. So chance for the Latrobe to extend this lead. See if they can get to their biggest lead of the game. As Triffitt puts it up. Can't get it to go. Bennick with the rebound. Now Pawson up the floor here for the Kings. Needs numbers in support. Strasmer for 3. Can't get that to go. Now Woolley gets the rebound and then quick pass up to Armstrong. That's good vision. And then Armstrong draws the foul on Strasmer and will go to the line for 2.
Yes, we're entering really deep crunch time here. 3:29 remaining. The timeout has been taken. That'll go, and that'll be 14 fouls. So the Kings get the timeout. The Latrobe boys will be at the line. And Ronnie, I want to go into the mind quickly here of a few different things. First of all, if you have your referee conference here, you've had you've had Connor have a conference with young Peel here, and you've had Ruben have a conference with Peel here. What sort of feedback would young Jordan be getting in this situation?
I think right now, to put my referee hat on, I think we're more talking about where the game is situated at and what we need to do as a crew to make sure that we keep on top of things and make sure we get the right calls. I think calls from before that, I think you move on and say, okay, well, or you quickly briefly mention and say, hey, this is how we saw it from a better angle, etc., etc. I think when you're the rookie of the crew, you just accept that and move on. Your main role is to make sure that you just call the obvious and don't call out an area. So for the guys right now, it's more about them focusing on, well, what are the teams going to come out and do? Will they, what do we need to look for? Those type of things. So it's more just trying to read the game a little bit there in that situation.
So that'll be interesting to see. And again, that'll be good experience, particularly in a tight game. For young Peel to still, have that, to know that his senior referees have that confidence in him to make the call, but still be able to learn on the fly and adjust if he needs to.
And these are good games for a young referee to have. I think when you can get close games, you get more learnings out of a close game rather than a blowout game, because there are more different type situations that you are putting yourself into as a referee. Which from that you either learn from or you've got it right as Armstrong knocks down the first. So I like where the game's heading at the moment. You know, the referees will be trying, you know, it's like we want the players to decide this game. Let's make sure that happens. And then, if you know, or do we go into OT? And they've got to be wary of that as Armstrong knocks down 2 of 2. So marching out to 6 here. So Kings need to get a little bit of a wriggle on.
Bit of a crowd building as well. We've run a little overtime, but the girls' game of what looks to be Penguin and Ulverston is up next, and there's some fans of both sides there. That's going to be a foul. And I'm going to suggest that Brady Armstrong was not the biggest fan of that particular indiscretion that was called.
No, he thought he got all ball, but referee Ruben Wilcox sees it the other way.
As we know, Ronnie, most players have never fouled in their lives.
Yep.
You as a referee would certainly know, and as a player would certainly know.
And then being the coach on the sideline as well too. As Strassman knocks down the free throw, so marching back to 5. So
was it DeBono's thinking hats? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You've worn more than that man had.
Oh, my word. Strassman, 2 of 2. Right, back to 4. So Kings want to stop here. A bit of extensive pressure too. They put, not much, but they put a little.
We've jinxed ourselves way too much this.
We have today.
But I understand what you're saying. You can see that at times the Kings are wanting to put the pressure on, force a full court stop, and really that one's going to be contact on the side on the hip, and that'll go to the line because we are in the bonus. This could be the longest 3 minutes of our lives.
It could well be, JB.
It could be as long as the first half.
Substitution.
Now was that?
Oh no, that's
Noah's fifth foul. What?
So
boy, wowee.
That's a big call, but nonetheless,
he was flying away on a wing in the prayer. What could it be? Believe it or not, it was foul on me.
Yep. Alex Triffett knocks down the first.
I'll stretch him, Ronnie. You know that.
Yes. And Triffett short on the second. So margin back to 5. So again, Kings have an opportunity once again here to make something happen here. So Pawson splits for a couple, pulls up top of the key, short.
And there's that off second half that Elijah's have. He's going to need to snap out of that quick. He is officially the absolute number 1 option on the floor here for the Kings. Less than 3 minutes remaining, a tight ball game.
So Armstrong, Woolley on the back door. Great play. Rejected by
Get out of here. Not in my house.
Pawson cut the floor. Shepherd and that's nearly a wasted opportunity there for the Kings right there. Good defensive play down there and really should have consolidated this end.
Absolutely. Flow Rider going to make a remix of that shot by Badnack called Not In My House. But, again, it's getting down the other end, and this is what's hurt a lot of teams that we've seen so far, Ronnie, getting that stop, but you've got to make the play, and then vice versa. Coming to see too easy of a collapse there. Now they've got the stop. We need the execution. You've got Shepherd, you've got Pawson. Let's see what they can do.
Pawson goes for it. Shepherd nearly won the tip. And Badnack can't get it to go.
And on the body, call was there.
Foul. So Spinks will walk to the other end of the court and go for 2.
And it is the little things, as we mentioned, Ronnie. It's all right to get a stop here, but don't waste a solid effort defensively, offensively, and then vice versa. Don't be jacking up shots and then just a layup line at the other end. It just gets rid of your momentum. I mean, I understand conserving energy as Spinks makes that one. But you've got to be able to execute on both ends, and that is the true sign of a good team and a bad team, a good player and a bad player. Can you deliver on both ends when it matters?
Spinks misses the second. So we're back to 6 here, under 2 remaining now. So we are now in crunch time here. Can the Kings make one final run and see if they can still win, or can Latrobe hold on and close this one out? As Pawson wanted to go to Badnack, but
idea was there, but the pass was very errant.
Certainly was, as Woolley comes up the floor here now. Now Armstrong. Turn Triffett. Triffett puts it to the floor. Spinks is open
ice it.
And missed everything.
He did ice it. He went ice absolute cold from outside.
And timeout. So 90 seconds remaining here, and head coach of the Kingborough Kings, Alex Cato, taking timeout. Looks like he's going to draw up a play.
Did it just get cold in here? Just me.
It could be just you, Jay. But I mean, I'm wearing an extra layer of clothing today. So.
Yeah, that's true. One of us come with the brains. It wasn't me.
So I'll be interested to see if they advance the ball here or if they just take it from the baseline and bring it up. So
with there being foul trouble, Ronald, do you want to get up the court to take time in knowing that they could rush trying to play defence a little too much and foul you, or do you try and drag a little bit off the clock, see the floor, and potentially get a shot up, knowing that even if they foul you in the backcourt, they're trying to put pressure on you, still getting to the line?
I putting my coach's hat on, I feel like I would advance the ball in this situation and look to run a set play for one of our, if it was me, I'd probably be looking for Pawson off this play, and then either knowing that he hasn't shot well from the 3 in this quarter, probably make him put it to the floor and see if we could draw a foul off that. So that would be me if I was the coach at Kingborough. But I'll see what Alex Cato. No, he's going to let the boys bring it down. Okay, that's a fair move. So
I noticed
they need a quick score.
There's been a bit of a change in tactic there over particularly the last 18 months, Ronnie. A lot of teams now, back before it was just like, yep, we're going to the front court, we're playing from there. As just a quick conference here from Wilcock and
something's going on.
Westwood. To me, as I was just saying, is there been a particular movement, amongst the coaching panel and the coaches across Tasmania to want to see the whole floor and allow the play to eventuate, or is there still an understanding that, it's a personal preference thing?
I think it's more of a personal preference. I think coaches will have their own tactics and whatnot within how they approach the game. The whole statewide, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, Joe. But the whole statewide kind of thinking or philosophy is that really it's more on the offensive and defensive structures that most of the coaches will tend to run off that. When it comes to situations like these, it's good for coaches to then develop their own strategies and how they approach those situations. So it's a personal preference. As we come down the floor here, 90 seconds remaining, and
we're going to get that one again.
Someone
started, but it stopped. It was a little bit late. 3 seconds. That would get them just to about halfway. Yeah, they're in the front court. And they should give them 24.
Yeah.
But
no, they're going to bring it to 14, I think.
No, we're at 24 still.
No, 24. I thought I heard Ruben say something there, but
I would be very surprised. No, they're going to run it to 21.
20.
No, we're still at 24. We need to go to 21. Stop. There we go.
Right.
We're even. We're good. I was going to say, I would be feeling pretty underdone if I was. Hang on.
No, that's come back into the backcourt.
Yeah, because of
3 seconds. Really, we still technically in the backcourt as we now come down the floor here. So Shepherd puts it to the floor, looking for
that ankle's going to test him in these closing moments.
So Shepherd exploring his options. Good pass in the back of the neck. Can't get it to go. And that was a badly needed 2 that they needed. Unfortunately, they didn't get it.
Now they desperately need a stop.
So Triffett now Spinks. Clock's with Latrobe's side here at the moment. Armstrong, they're taking their time. 10 remaining left on the shot clock here for the Demons.
Woolley or Armstrong have to decide this play. There's Armstrong.
Is short on that. Baranek with the rebound. He's off and running. Got Shepherd in support.
They need a 3 and they need it quickly. There's
Pawson.
Not afraid.
And gets it to go. Elijah Pawson with the 3.
Okay.
We're back to a 3-point ball game.
Now, do you just look for a stop or a foul here, Ronnie?
You got to go for a stop.
Ooh.
So Triffett nearly.
Can't leave Spinks. He cannot leave anyone open. Woolley, Spinks.
One more.
Armstrong.
Spinks goes for it and missed it. Well, Woolley saved it.
Thought he stepped out of bounds then.
And now Woolley open.
To ice it. No good.
And then Spinksley gets the rebound.
14 seconds. They've got to get up the floor.
They got to get a 3 up to force OT. Shepherd goes for himself.
Bang!
Oh!
Bang!
Shepherd with the dagger. And we are tied at 89.
That is
7.3 remaining, and we could be going to OT.
Oh, sorry to everyone on the crackle of that, but that was unbelievable. That was intense. It was as flat as a tack. He launched that from well outside the 3-point line, Ronnie. Our headsets are still good.
Yeah.
And on bung, ankle and all, we just talked about how crucial that very much could be.
Okay.
And unbelievable. The crowd up and about picking things up here for this next game. And I don't think the girls are going to mind... they probably are going to mind waiting around, but if there's going to be some good action for them to watch, they're not going to mind. Big shot, but now... As we transition out of it, a lot of good shooters for Latrobe. the Kings defence without Noah Stratsma. Again, if they head into OT without Noah Stratsma, they've got to be on point here for a quick stop and try and get up the floor, or at least prevent this one ending on the buzzer.
Big shot by Bain Shepherd. That did not look like missing, JB.
It didn't look like missing, and it didn't. It wouldn't have got any higher than the rim. It just crept over the top.
So Latrobe have a chance to win it.
Another big possession here.
Any score will do, as they say.
We've had some big finishes here.
This has been good. So they're looking for Woolley. Now Spinks. Triffett works his way through. Game clock at 4. Triffett for the win.
No,
Can't
good.
go.
Collins needs to launch it.
Puts it up, and we are going to OT. So we are tied at 89 apiece. A fantastic last quarter by both teams, JB.
Unbelievable last quarter and an unbelievable quality of game. An absolute contrast. The first half, for lack of a better term, was subpar. In fact, that's probably the nicest way to put it. They were scrappy, they were indecisive, they couldn't hit shots, there was no effective defence. They both looked at times like they were going through the motions. Massive third quarter, a war of attrition here in the fourth, a big shot from Bain Shepherd. You've got Noah Stratsma fouled out. You've got all the shooters available there for Latrobe. They're hunting for their first win. Kings wanting to go 2-0, take advantage of some of the better teams in the competition not being at their best, as former Queenstowner Dion that floats through. Great friend of the program.
Yes.
Well, most people that know us are great friends of the program.
Absolutely, Chobo.
This is going to be a massive overtime period, Ronnie. We've had 2 big finishes on this floor, and I'm ramped up, excited. I can't wait.
Absolutely fantastic. This is what we wanted on day one of State League competition, JB.
No better advertisement for the game.
Absolutely. We had a crack of a finish in our first game, and in our third game here, we are absolutely excited that OT is here. And so both teams to come back out on the floor here. So who we got? We got the Triffett brothers, Spinks, Woolley and Armstrong. We got Collins, Nash, Shepherd, Belenek and Pawson. So 5 minutes and we go to a winner.
Now, we're not throwing a jump ball here?
No, it stays with the arrow. Everything stays the same. So fouls stay the same. The arrow will still...
Teams get 2 timeouts each, or 1. I think it's two each.
Yeah, 2.
Timeouts.
I think 1 maybe, I'm thinking.
But timeouts reset.
I think they get the 1. I think Ruben Wilcock was just saying to Coach Sam Pulford, 1.
Cheers, Ronnie. We got the social media update there.
Beautiful.
We didn't pause the recording. Another game's nearly finished processing.
Pawson working his way through to kick off overtime and gets the 2 to go.
That is a man on a mission. That jumper started to fall. He's working his way inside. And that is Taylor Roberts in a Penguin uniform. My God, good luck to the girls of Ulverston there.
So Armstrong nearly lost it. And then last touch, Armstrong was the last touch. And Kingborough to get it back. So this is not a bad start for Kingborough, who need this momentum because they're riding off that wave of Bain Shepherd's 3 to put this into OT. Pawson puts it to the floor. Beautiful pass in a Badanek.
And
JB's man gets it to go.
Ian Badanek, and again, has provided a unique spark. I mean, he can be erratic at times, but it's the small things he does, the big blocks, the small inside finishes that just really ramp this team up. And I don't think they had any more ramping up, though, after that big shot. And Shepherd's going to want to follow that up. Oh!
Good. And Kingston have upped the ante defensively and really playing aggressively here in this first minute of play. Armstrong won the foul. Referees didn't see it that way. 6 left on the shot clock as we get this play to go. Triffett to his brother, Triffett.
Step back.
Can't get that to go. Shepherd with the rebound.
That ankle looks fine for me.
Yep, and Shepherd with a behind-the-back move. Nash to Pawson. Pawson in the corner. Just short. Shepherd with his own board and draws the foul. Will go to line for 1. And Bain Shepherd is fired up.
The Kings have thrown absolutely the kitchen sink at this current situation, and they just continue to get results. And I'm just hearing myself in the background there. Really, I don't mind the sound of my own voice, but it's just, I think everyone knows that, but I don't think that's the line of the tournament. But yes. No, that one's not necessary. We'll pause that one there. And One
And
shot
Shepherd.
count. That is good. A good finish there.
So margin. So they've gone on pretty much a 7-zip run here, and Latrobe need a quick answer.
Well, you could actually argue, Ronnie, with the finish that they've had, it's been 10 zip since that Shepherd.
Yeah, true.
That Shepherd shot, and he's the heart and soul of this team.
Woolley for 3.
Ooh.
That's the one that they were looking for. So back to 4.
That's not a bad finish in of itself. Stems the run, and even after all of that play with the Kings, it's only a 4-point game.
Yes, this could. I'm not even going to think of that. I had that thought in my head.
Thank you. We'll hold that one off.
Collins puts it up.
Building
can't get it to go.
Building Rome on that effort.
Yeah, well, let's hope in the next 3 minutes we have a winner. Armstrong, now Trifford.
That was a dangerous.
My word.
Gets inside nicely. Ian Badanac checks.
Yep. Now Trifford needs to quickly get out of the key and does
10
so.
seconds.
Woolley and Pawson. Woolley with a tough look. Can't get it to go. Spinks with a tip. Good job by Will Spinks.
He's been working hard down there and trying to just take some of that contact away. I think that's helping calm down Brady Armstrong there. But we're down to another 2-point ball game. And
certainly are.
We won't happen again, will it?
Well, that's what I was thinking about 30 seconds ago. Now, who's the foul on here?
We're going to quickly see.
So it's going to be on Will Spinks.
Yeah, just trying to fend off there. I think a bit of more gamesmanship, a bit of a tidy little hook there. Ronnie, I think he got away with that. He is continuing to ask the question. And is that 5 fouls on Will Spinks?
It is.
And that's another big out because he's been working, again, as we mentioned, down low.
So Matty Parker will come in.
Now, I don't think Matty Parker's got too many fouls, but that's actually not a bad substitution. 2.5 minutes. If he's got plenty of fouls up his sleeve, there's no reason that he can't play a little more physical in this one. Stretch things out.
Absolutely. So Ian Badnick at the line. This might not be, in some ways, not a bad foul to Gibb.
We mentioned the Shaq tendencies, and the foul line, unfortunately, is one of them. But Shaq was known to hit him in the big stages, so I've got to be very careful with that too.
I think we have to be very careful with our words here as well too. So let's see.
There's that Shaqness.
All right, back to 3. So 3 points is our margin. 97-94, under 30 remaining here. We are in overtime. First time we had an overtime broadcast game is Armstrong. Can't get it to go.
Oh,
the tip by Ben Woolley. Yes, sir.
And he's not.
And then, now,
I believe a small bit of advice was exchanged.
Now, I believe that's a delay of game warning because Ben Woolley passed the ball back to the referee. So, so delay of game warning. So the next one will be a technical if that happens again.
96-97. We've got a contest on our hands, Ronnie.
Yeah, we sure do, JB. So Shepherd. Now Nash. Nash looking inside. And now Benedict and Parker might not be a bad matchup, actually.
That one could get a little too phisically. Let's do it.
Shepherd with the fadeaway.
Colby.
Can't get that to go. Now, Trifford up the floor. He's got his brother in support. Utilises him.
M&M's on display. Mullets and moulets.
Woolley for 3.
Bang.
Yes, Ben Woolley with a 3. And the game has quickly changed all of a sudden. Latrobe lead by 2.
99-97. I knew we'd crack the ton. I thought we'd do it before the end of regulation. Nonetheless, Pawson.
So Pawson for the response. It's long. Nash with the rebound.
Oh, the dump down to batters.
Pawson
again.
Open and can't get it to go as Woolley pulls down the rebound. And now Woolley off and running. Has Trifford and Armstrong. Armstrong to the dagger. Can't get it to go. Nash with the rebound.
And Shepherd's been hit there in the side. He's being beaten badly. He's shooting like Kobe, though. Oh, good eyes. Nash wanted help. Didn't get a cut.
No. So now Benedick.
Oh, no. What's he going to do here?
Oh, nice pass into Nash at the corner. Can't get it to go. And then now foul on the play. So Matty Parker will go to the line for 2 as we walk 90 feet.
There we go. We'll wait.
And I'm just trying to see. Just get that paddle up, Beck. I'm trying to see what number that is. That's 4. So that's 4 on Ian Badnick.
Yep, Clark's going to be a veteran, play some veteran moves here too. He goes to the line, gets a goal. Couldn't get the roll. Minute 20, but again, this is where Clark will take his advantage because if he goes out, Hartog's going to have to come in.
So Parker gets that one the roll. So 3 points is our margin once again. Minute 21 remaining here.
Now, they say the first team to get 100 in most sports wins a game. We'll see whether this is the truth.
Absolutely. Pawson puts
Blocked.
up, rejected by Parker. Now Armstrong off and running, has Triffett in support, doesn't need it, and goes and gets the 2 off a layup.
5 points in a minute. It can be done, but will it be done? They came back from 6 last time, and this man was the catalyst.
And
he's not afraid.
No, Nash with the O board, and then he draws a foul. Well, would either be assessed on Woolley or Triffett.
But we'll go to the line either way.
Yep, we will go to the line. That's assessed on Triffett. So Caleb Nash to the line for 2.
Things are just tightening up.
So Nash at the line. Some crucial free throws here. Knocks down the first. 57.7 remaining here.
This will be a very handy result.
And can't get that to
Needs
go.
that has come off. It has. It had come off Brady Armstrong. Smart play by Isaac Collins. Even more experience here for young Peel refereeing a senior game and OT.
And OT. He's done a good job. So ball out with Shepherd. Gets the on ball from Benedict.
Oh, he's got plenty of space.
He wanted the roll, can't get it.
Nash isn't
goes
afraid.
for it.
That's a floater.
And just can't. And
Collins
might have got away with a bit of a shove. It gets the 2 nonetheless.
It's 100-102, Ronnie.
And we're back to a 2-point ball game. 40 seconds remaining here. Latrobe can't turn the ball over here in this situation. They need a solid basket here just to control things. So Triffett, Woolley on the back door, goes baseline.
Oh,
and
that was stepped out of
court.
bounds.
So 28.1. Now, do the Kings? I think the Kings do have a timeout that they can utilise.
There are 2 people.
So head coach Alex Cato goes for it and timeout. So 102-100. Now we'll see if the ball advances or will they use the full 24.
Well, they used the full court last time and it worked for them. The real strategy here, and this is the real precious situation for Latrobe, who do you go and defend, Ronald? Do you chase off Elijah Paulson or do you stick with the man who's fighting a war of attrition with his own body here in Shepherd? It's a real question, but at the same time, the Kings now need to be wary of what sort of defensive scheme that Latrobe's going to run because they're not going to come at them as lackadaisical as last time and they're certainly not going to let Bain Shepherd pull up from 30 feet.
No, certainly not, JB. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. I would think Pawson or Shepherd would be your main 2. Maybe Nash is a sneaky dark horse here. I just have a funny feeling for some reason.
If they go inside and get a 2, I'm glad we've got battery power and memory cards, but boy, oh boy, that game will take a while.
We'll certainly get the battery charge after this game, JB. That is for sure. Now, ball has been advanced, so
that'll give them 14.
Which would then leave, if you extend the full 14 out, then they would get 14. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out.
Genuine 2-possession game.
So Nash to restart.
The
now
man.
Shepherd.
Oh, there it is.
Back door.
That's
now Pawson puts it to the floor. Good strip by Woolley. Cato wanted a foul, and then another foul there, and then a little bit of push and shove.
Brady Armstrong's just walking his way down to this free throw line. But at the same time, now there needs to be a discussion for the Kings. What are we going to run here if there's a miss? If he makes the first, misses the second, we need to get up the floor and score. If he misses the first, makes the second, we need to have a full court playing plan. A lot of dynamics to take into account, particularly, Ronnie, if you're a coach with no timeouts.
Absolutely. So Armstrong
makes the
first.
Needs to hit this.
Now, yes. Well, with 18.7, you need to make it. To make this a tough.
Give it to Shepherd and let him shoot a 3.
So let's see what happens. Yep, okay. So Kings with no timeout, so they're going to have to go for it here. So ball doesn't start till that ball touch. All right, here we go. Pawson goes for a quick release.
No.
Can't get it.
Benedict out.
Shepherd this time.
No.
Couldn't get the drop. And then the foul is committed. So Armstrong will walk down to the other end of the floor.
Apologies there on the camera as I kept it on the other baseline, but nothing went in, so we didn't miss anything. However, as we return to the foul line, we should see Latrobe take the win here in their second game in almost 3 hours. So, I mean, you know, this is a big effort from them. Momentum wasn't on their side. A 10-0 run there at one point, including the overtime shot to send it through for the Kings. And they're I mean, to come away with one win this weekend, I think would have been a bonus for them. They would have liked to in this one. Shepherd.
Yeah, and turnover, and that will do it. So it took overtime, but Latrobe dig deep and win this one by 6, 106 to 100. And JB, what a great game of basketball we just watched.
Yes, a tremendous game of basketball, and certainly an absolute narrative of a basketball game. We had everything from a really scrappy start. We had probably the best quarter of basketball we've seen all so far this weekend. In the third quarter, we saw a big shot to go into OT, and then we see another team really fight back off a big run to come over the line. We saw foul trouble. We saw senior experience come to their head. We saw the youth of both sides really step up. Overall, a good contest, Ronnie, and for the 3 games we've managed to cover here on the show court, we've had some really positive results and some positive basketball. So hopefully they can continue things over and continue that trend on for the rest of the weekend. And we'll take a quick break, I assume, and get ready for our 7 o'clock game.
Yes.
That'll be the Grenadiers
taking on the
Wildcats. That'll be the hot and cold, confident team of the Grenadiers. Meanwhile, Wynyard coming off a loss there against Penguin, but they have some firepower and are going to have some revenge on their mind. So we'll take a break for a couple of hours here, and we'll join you for the main event of the evening a little later on.